Old Johnny Lemon here today. We're doing something different in reading the Iliad by Homer, Penguin Classics Deluxe Edition. So this is about the Trojan War, if you didn't know. And we're going to do chapter 1 in this video. Rage, goddess, sing the rage of Peleus' son Achilles, murderous, doomed, that cost the Achaeans countless losses, hurling down to the house of death so many sturdy souls, great fighters' souls, but made their bodies carrion, feasts for the dogs and birds. And the will of Zeus was moving toward its end. Begin, muse, when the two first broke and clashed. Agamemnon, lord of men, and brilliant Achilles. What god drove them to fight with such a fury? Apollo, the son of Zeus and Leto. Incensed at the king, he swept a fatal plague through the army. Men were dying, and all because Agamemnon spurned Apollo's priest. Yes, Chryses approached the Achaeans' fast ships to win his daughter back, bringing a priceless ransom, and bearing high in hand, wound on a golden staff, the wreaths of the god, the distant deadly archer. He begged the whole Achaean army, but most of all, the two supreme commanders, Atreus' two sons, Agamemnon, Menelaus, all Argives, geared for war. May the gods who hold the halls of Olympus give you Priam's city to plunder, then safe passage home. Just set my daughter free, my dear one, here. Accept these gifts, this ransom. Honor the god who strikes from worlds away, the son of Zeus, Apollo. And all ranks of Achaeans cried out their assent. Respect the priest, accept the shining ransom. But it brought no joy to the heart of Agamemnon. The king dismissed the priest with a brutal order. Let me catch sight of you by the hollow ships, not loitering now, not slinking back tomorrow. The staff and the wreaths of the god will never save you then. The girl, I won't give up the girl. Long before that, old age will overtake her in my house in Argos, far from her fatherland, slaving back and forth at the loom, forced to share my bed. Now go, don't tempt my wrath, and you may depart alive. The old man was terrified. He obeyed the order, turning, trailing away in silence down the shore where the battle lines of breakers crash and drag, and moving off to a safe distance over and over, the old priest prayed to the son of sleek-haired Leto, Lord Apollo. Hear me, Apollo, god of the silver bow, who strides the walls of Chryse and Scylla sacrosanct, lord and power of Tenedos, Smintheus, god of the plague. If I ever roofed a shrine to please your heart, ever burned the long rich bones of bulls and goats on your holy altar, now bring my prayer to pass. Pay the Danons back, your arrows for my tears. His prayer went up, and Phoebus Apollo heard him. Down he strode from Olympus's peaks, storming at heart with his bow and hooded quiver slung across his shoulders. The arrows clanged at his back as the god quaked with rage, the god himself on the march, and down he came like night. Over against the ships he dropped to a knee, let fly a shaft, and a terrifying clash rang out from the great silver bow. First he went for the mules and circling dogs, but then, launching a piercing shaft at the men themselves, he cut them down in droves, and the corpse fires burned on night and day, no end in sight. 9 days the arrows of God swept through the army. On the 10th Achilles called all the ranks to muster. The impulse seized him, sent by white-armed Hera, grieving to see Achaean fighters drop and die. Once they gathered, crowding the meeting grounds, the swift runner Achilles rose and spoke among them. Son of Atreus, now we are all beaten back, I fear. The long campaign is lost, so home we sail, if we can escape our death, if war and plague are joining forces now to crush the Argives. But wait, let us question a holy man, a prophet, even a man skilled with dreams. Dreams as well can come our way from Zeus. Come, someone to tell us why Apollo rages so, whether he blames us for a vow we failed, or sacrifice. If only the god would share the smoky savor of lambs and full-grown goats, Apollo might be willing, still, somehow, to save us from this plague. So he proposed and sat down again, as Calchas rose among them, Thestor's son, the clearest by far of all the seers who scan the flight of birds. He knew all things that are, all things that are past, and all that are to come. The seer who had led the Argive ships to Troy, with the second sight that god Apollo gave him, for the army's good seer began to speak. Achilles, dear to Zeus, you order me to explain Apollo's anger, the distant deadly archer? I will tell it all, but strike a pact with me, swear you will defend me, with all your heart, with words and strength of hand, for there is a man I will enrage, I see it now, a powerful man who lords it over all the Argives, one of the Achaeans must obey, a mighty king, raging against an inferior, is too strong. Even if he can swallow down his wrath today, still he will nurse the burning in his chest until, sooner or later, he sends it bursting forth. Consider it closely, Achilles. Will you save me? And the matchless runner reassured him. Courage, out with it now, Calchas. Reveal the will of God, whatever you may know. And I swear by Apollo, dear to Zeus, the power you pray to, Calchas, whenever you reveal God's will to the Argives, no one, not while I am alive and see the light on earth, no one will lay his heavy hands on you by the hollow ships, none among all the armies, not even if you mean Agamemnon here, who now claims to be by far the best of the Achaeans. The seer took heart, and this time he spoke out bravely. Beware, he casts no blame for a vow we failed, a sacrifice. The gods enrage because Agamemnon spurred his priest. That's why the archer sends us pains, and he will send us more, and never drive this shameful destruction from the Argives, not till we give back the girl with sparkling eyes to her loving father. No price, no ransom paid, and carry a sacred 100 bulls to Chrysae town. Then we can calm the god, and only then appease him. So he declared and sat down, but among them rose the fighting son of Atreus, lord of the far-flung kingdoms. Agamemnon, furious, his dark heart filled to the brim, blazing with anger now, his eyes like searing fire. With a sudden killing look, he wheeled on Calchas first. Seer of misery, never a word that works to my advantage. Always misery warms your heart, your prophecies. Never a word of prophet said or brought to pass. Now again, you divine God's will for the armies. Brew it about as fact, while the deadly archer multiplies our pains. Because I refuse that glittering price for the young girl, Chryseis. Indeed, I prefer her by far, the girl herself. I want her mine in my own house. I rank her higher than Clytemnestra, my wedded wife. She's nothing less in build or breeding, in mind or works of hand. But I am willing to give her back, even so, if that is best for all. What I really want is to keep my people safe, not see them dying. But fetch me another prize, and straight off too, else I alone of the Argives go without my honor. That would be a disgrace. You are all witness. Look, my prize is snatched away. But the swift runner Achilles answered him at once. Just how, Agamemnon, great field marshal, most grasping man alive? How can the generous Argives give you prizes now? I know of no troves of treasure piled, lying idle anywhere. Whatever we dragged from towns we plundered, all's been portioned out. But collect it, call it back from the rank and file. That would be the disgrace. So return the girl to the god, at least for now. We Achaeans will pay you back 3-4 times over, if Zeus will grant us the gift, somehow, someday, to raise Troy's massive ramparts to the ground. But King Agamemnon countered, not so quickly, brave as you are, godlike Achilles. Try to cheat me. Oh no, you won't get past me. Take me in that way. What do you want, to cling to your own prize? while I sit calmly by, empty-handed here? Is that why you order me to give her back? No, if our generous Argives will give me a prize, a match for my desires, equal to what I've lost, well and good. But if they give me nothing, I will take a prize myself, your own, or Ajax's, or Odysseus's prize. I'll commandeer her myself, and let that man go to visit, choke with rage. Enough, we'll deal with all this later, in due time. Now come, we haul a black ship down to the bright sea, gather a decent number of oarsmen along her locks, and put aboard a sacrifice, and Chryseis herself in all her beauty. We embark her too. Let one of the leading captains take command. Ajax, Idomeneus, trusty Odysseus, or you, Achilles, you, the most valiant man alive, so you can perform the rites for us and calm the god yourself. So, this has been Old Johnny Lemon, the Iliad readings, episode 1. Make sure you tune in for the next one, and as always, join the Lemon Legion and squeeze that subscribe button. Old Johnny Lemon out.